welcome to Asian Pulse TV, an informative and resourceful station. I'm your host Manbir Randhawa, and today we are broadcasting from the unceded territories of Silvertooth Nation, Katsi, Musqueam, and Kwantlen Nation. We feel very blessed for the generosity of the first people who shared their traditional and ancestral land with us to live, laugh, and grow. First of all, happy Thanksgiving to all of our viewers and friends from our family to yours. Thanksgiving is the time of the year when we give thanks to what we have and who we have in our lives. This is also that time of the year when we acknowledge that we always have more than others. And so now is the time to give back. You can give back to food banks or to the people who are less fortunate than you. At night, when you sit on the dining table to eat your Thanksgiving dinner with your friends and family, always remember that there are people around the world who do not even get one decent meal. So what can we do? Do what can be done in your power. Just make sure that no one goes to bed hungry. BC Provincial Health Officer Dr. Bonnie Henry and Health Minister Adrienne Dix have announced mandatory masking starting October 3rd. Masking rule will be applied to facilities run by provincial health authorities as well as long-term care homes. So make sure to wear your masks when you are visiting any senior in the care home or any patient in any of the hospitals. September is the Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. According to the National Library for Medicine, 1 in 5 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. And between 2015 and 2019, West Virginia itself reported around 6,400 prostate cases and 920 prostate deaths. Prostate cancer is more likely to occur in older men, Black American men, so PSA testing is must. PSA testing is also available for the age group of 60 and above, but if you have a history, then you can get it done earlier than the age 60. It's time to take a short break, but I'll be right back after we hear some words from our sponsors.
I understand how important it is to have a place called home, and it's frustrating using your hard-earned money on rent. Vic Prasad can make you a homeowner. Get pre-approved services provided to first-time buyers and new immigrants. You can qualify for mortgage even if you have bad credit. Call Vic Prasad now on 604-306-6647. Vic Prasad is associated with Craft Mortgages Canada Incorporated.
For any kind of visa-related services, contact Milky Way Immigration, a galaxy of opportunities located at Unit 209-9547 152 Street, Surrey, BC. They have licensed immigration consultants, placement officers, and LMIA experts to meet your immigration and recruitment needs. Book one-time free consultation either on Facebook or by calling 604-396-0005. Bollywood Banquet Hall and Conference Center located at Pile Business Center at 201-8166 128th Street in Surrey. No celebration is too small to accommodate you. They have newly renovated 2 halls to serve you, up to 1,000 guest capacity, top-notch chefs to delight you with delectable and heavenly cuisine. So just call Bollywood Banquet Hall at 604-598-2700 for your events. For all your party rental needs, a Langley Party Rental is open under the new management. The location is Unit 230-19358 6th Street in Langley. No job is too small or too big for your special occasions. So give them a call at 604-530-9155 or email info@langleypartyrentals1@outlook.com. United Pallets and Crates is located at 11585 134th Street in Surrey, BC. Give Sam Dooler a call at 604-760-2028 or call the office number at 604-634-2001. You can also visit the website, which is www.unitedpalletsandcrates.com, or send us email at info@palletsandcrates.com. Thank you, sponsors. We have in our studio Rika Man Singh, who is a registered dietitian and best-selling author. He's also certified NLP master practitioner, consultant, clinical philanthropist, and podcaster. Let's chat with him.
Hello and welcome to Asian Pulse. My guest today is Rika Man Singh, and she is a registered dietitian, clinical consultant, media. She wrote 2 very powerful books, and one is just sitting with me, and she's given me the book today. And she is a certified meditation consultant and hypnotherapist, as well as philanthropist, and all those things. Sorry, I let her introduce to you. And also, it took me many, many months to get this person on the set today, because I have been trying to get on our show to talk about what does she do, and especially the most important is we all want to stay healthy. So welcome.
Thank you so much, Camilla, for having me on your show. I am so grateful to be here.
Thank you. I should be more grateful to have you on our set today. So talk a little bit. I know I introduced yourself,
Right.
but I want you to introduce. It'll be much easier.
Okay, so originally born in South Africa, I moved to Canada close to 16 years ago, and I have been practicing as a registered dietitian for over 21 years. And I'm grateful for my journey. It was my parents who actually were an invaluable influence to me becoming a dietitian, because my dad, who's a physician, he had this incredible insight about the proactive role a dietitian could play in preventing and managing diseases of lifestyle. And so that ignited my passion for dietetics. I knew that I could make a meaningful difference to patients' lives. And also, Camilla, it's what brings me tremendous joy in my profession is actually witnessing the transformative power that good nutrition can have on a patient's health. For example, many people have better energy levels, they sleep better, they have better mood. And I also notice many patients reduce their reliance on medication, and some patients can eliminate their medication completely just by making healthy food choices.
And so you were born, raised here?
Born in South Africa,
so
and then moved here about close to 16 years ago.
And your dad was the most influential on you to make sure about healthy eating.
Yeah, because my mom and my dad, they were always health conscious. And my dad, being in the health profession, he knew that it's not just about giving out medication. A lot of our diseases of lifestyle can be prevented by eating healthily and also by doing exercise.
So you are also an author. You wrote a couple of books. One is right here, and there was another book that you wrote.
Right.
So when did the passion for you writing came? Being a dietitian is one thing, how do you eat healthy and all that, and how do you take care of your body. But being an author,
right,
that's another level of...
I think that there's a lot of magic to be learned from eating healthily for the mind. And I think if we're eating healthily for the mind, we are thinking better, we are feeling better, we are making better choices, we are sleeping well, and then we have more energy to exercise well and be at our best versions. And I did a lot of studying and research around this area. And when I learned what I learned, I was like, how can I put this out there? And a book gives you that platform, that avenue to put your content out there and let it reach and help and impact as many people. So it was about putting out a message. And that's why I created my podcast as well. It's about, I want to reach a lot of people, and you could help that lonely person sitting on the couch who just needs a few lines or words of wisdom to just elevate them and get them to their best versions. So the Empowered Mind Diet Equation, though, I wrote that to help people who just need a lifestyle boost, and also people who are going through a difficult time. And Camilla, it's like when a person goes through a difficult time, they either lose their appetite completely, and some people crave unhealthy food for comfort because they're going through a depression, they're feeling anxious, all of those things. And so we need to eat healthily for the mind to actually come out of those states. Because, for example, if we're not eating our healthy omega-3 fatty acids, right, our membranes around our brain cells harden. And there's poor communication with this brain cell and that brain cell. And so it's very hard for somebody to come out of a depression in that way. Also, if we're not eating well and we're not taking in our protein foods, proteins are broken down to amino acids, and we need the amino acids to make those feel-good chemical messengers in our brain. Like serotonin, it makes us feel good. And usually antidepressants aim to increase your serotonin levels. So if we're not eating healthily and not taking our vitamins and minerals, lack of iron, lack of our B vitamins, we're going to feel tired, we're going to have low mood. So I truly do believe that eating well for the mind leads to sleeping well, feeling well, and everything just goes from there. And that is what inspired me to write my book.
So not everybody will have access to the book, or the people that are watching you today, they don't have the book right now in their hand, maybe to find out. So when you are saying, and I am just listening to you when you are talking, that how passionate you are about, because brain health is as important as your physical health.
Definitely.
Even this health is more because it's just a computer.
Exactly.
Is where everything just starts,
Yes.
right? Even a first thought that come to you, it's in
all
here.
in the mind.
Yeah, in your mind,
Yes.
and that's how you regulate that
And if we
all
eat-
over the body. So
Yes.
talk a little bit about some of the foods.
Yeah, so I would say, like when I refer to the mind diet in my book, so the mind diet is basically a mash-up of two very successful diets, the Mediterranean diet and the DASH diet, which stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension. So basically, the mind diet stands for, and it sounds complicated, but the Mediterranean DASH intervention for neurodegenerative delay. And it focuses on brain health, in particular, preserving memory and reducing cognitive decline, and also reducing your risk of Alzheimer's disease. And Camilla, studies have found that if a person follows the mind diet rigorously, they reduce their risk of Alzheimer's by 53%.
Wow, that's very high, quite
Yeah,
high.
and
percentage.
if they follow it moderately, they still reduce their risk by 35%. And so on the mind diet, it's actually so easy to follow because it's mainly plant-based, and it focuses on your green leafy vegetables, your spinach and your kale and your broccoli and your bok choy and all your other brightly colored vegetables and fruit. When it comes to fruit, it's mainly your blueberries, your blackberries, your raspberries. It also focuses on whole grains, the high fiber carbohydrates, which increase blood flow to the brain. And so that's your brown and wild rice, your quinoa, your multi-grain products. The mind diet also emphasizes on healthy fats, like your olive oil and your omega-3 anti-inflammatory fats, which we get from our salmon, our herring, our mackerel, so the oily fish. And like I mentioned earlier, those omega-3s keep the brain cell membranes fluid for better communication. And also the mind diet limits the red meat, the unhealthy processed foods, the deep fried crumb foods. Those are the foods that have a lot of saturated fat. And when we eat a lot of unhealthy saturated fat, we cause more inflammation in the brain. Also, the brain cell membranes, they're not fluid anymore. With saturated fats, they harden. So it's almost like this brain cell can't communicate with the other brain cell because there's a barrier from the unhealthy food that we eat.
I was going to ask you that people who have been on poor diet all
Yes.
their life,
Yes.
because when you talk about healthy diet versus poor diet,
Yeah.
because sometimes poor diet or whatever chips and
Yes.
and French fries and all that is a little bit cheaper than to buy
Right.
actual fruits
Yes.
and vegetables, which are more expensive, right?
Right.
I'm talking about the
Yes.
families that have kids and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, just to get them fill up, and they will just buy fast food and all that.
Right.
So if you have all your life, or maybe I don't know
Yes.
how old you are, have you been practicing.
Practicing.
Is it always to change? Is it possible, I should say,
Yes.
to change that into proper nutrition, proper,
Definitely.
like you say, Mediterranean diet? Or,
Yes, definitely. And that's what I love doing in my practice, because people come to me, they've tried everything, they're used to eating in a certain way. I find out what they usually eat and I modify it from there. And so not like, okay, you never ate breakfast, now you're going to have oats. It's not like that.
Yeah.
I find out what they usually eat. I look at their activity level, their age, their medical condition, their medication, and then I tweak and tailor what they usually like to eat in a more healthy way. And there's always allowance for variety, moderation, and balance. And when it comes to change, change is something that inspires me. And all it takes for a person to do is actually make a decision, right? And healthy eating is not as expensive as people think. For example, the healthy fish, you could have tuna. Tuna is it's very reasonably priced. Canned tuna, canned beans, all very high in fiber, high in protein. Your green leafy vegetables, those are healthy foods. And what's more important is that when you're eating healthily, you'll notice, hey, I have more energy, I'm sleeping better. And when you bring that awareness to your clients, that association with, hey, this is what I'm eating and I'm feeling good, they slowly put that into practice and eventually they can change their habits and their behavior.
You also mentioned protein.
Yes.
Some people are vegetarian and they
Yes.
don't eat any chicken, fish, or
Right.
anything.
Yes.
So what are some plant-based that are protein that people consume? A
Right.
lot of people are vegetarian
Yes,
and vegan.
and that's great. It's great to be vegetarian and vegan, and also you have to take into account that even though we are eating healthy diets, we do need to supplement with vitamin B12, especially being vegetarian, and also with iron. A lot of vegetarians are low in iron. In terms of vegetarian sources of protein, there's many. So your beans, your peas, your chickpeas, your lentils. You can even do your protein powders as well. Quinoa has protein, so there's lots of vegetarian sources of protein.
Right.
Yes.
And you also connected with two things.
Yes.
Eating healthy versus having a good night's sleep.
Yes.
So there are so many people, they are sleep deprived.
Yes.
And a lot of people just sleep for 2, 3, 4 hours.
Yes.
And they can go back to sleep.
Right.
Sometimes that happens to me too.
Right.
Even too much on my mind, I'm thinking, and you can go back to
Yeah.
sleep. So is it like if you are having a healthy meal or healthy
Yes.
diet, that will help you have proper 6 to 8 hours sleep for a
It definitely will. For example, if you're eating a high fiber containing meal and a well-balanced supper earlier on in the evening, your sleep will not be interrupted as much. If we're eating the unhealthy foods, then it will create an imbalance in your blood sugar and you would wake up in the middle of the night feeling a bit, wide awake. Yes, food definitely is going to affect the way you sleep.
So if you are addicted to sugar,
Yes.
like you say, it's just as addictive
Yes.
as anything,
Right.
as drugs that we use. How long will you stop? How long you have to stay away from sugar so that you don't crave sugar anymore?
Right. So the key to doing that is slowly weaning it off, right? First, we have to be aware. Hey, I'm eating sugar, and then I'm noticing I'm craving sugar every 2 hours. And then once you recognize that, you'd slowly, let's say, from 3 teaspoons of sugar in your tea, reduce to 2, reduce to 1. Eventually, replace with maybe cinnamon, maybe try stevia. Another thing you could do is sort of get your taste buds used to savory. So instead of the sweet tea, you're adding turmeric, you're adding ginger. Once you do that for about 2 weeks, and you're making sure you having your fruit and your vegetables and fiber in your meal coming from the brown and wild rice, your multigrain bread, you will keep your blood sugars more stable. And within 2 weeks, you should be weaned off sugar.
So what about fruits, like bananas
Right.
and like apples, oranges? Everything, all the juices and all
Right.
that is full of sugar too.
Yes,
So
exactly.
if people say, well, have a lot of fruit.
Yeah.
But then again, you are also consuming the sugar from the fruits as well.
And so the key thing with fruit is that fruit have sugar,
Yes.
fructose sugar.
Yeah.
They're completely low fat. So a lot of people put in tons of sugar in the smoothies, thinking that it's a good thing. But we don't want to overdo the sugar. So the key thing for fruit is the portion size is a handful or tennis ball size portion of fruit at a time. A banana you'd want to have half at a time, not the entire thing. And I always say that the fruit with the skin or peel, apple has a peel, blueberries have a thin peel, strawberries have the gritty thing, oranges have the white peel. The peel and the stringy bits add fiber to the fruit.
Okay.
And fiber delays the digestion of sugar in the fruit. But if we're having fruit without the peel, mango, watermelon, cantaloupe, there's no peel. When we eat that, our blood sugar levels will be elevated.
Okay.
Right. And no fruit juices, rather have the fruit.
I
instead
think
of
there are a lot of fruit juices they are loaded with sugar,
Lots,
people say.
yes, and
Yeah.
some would say no sugar added.
Yeah.
But what that means is that there's so much sugar in the fruit juice as it is,
Yeah.
they didn't have to add in any more sugar.
And they don't have to put that on the label too.
No.
No sugar added,
Yeah.
because they're already loaded
Exactly.
with sugar.
Yes. So
Yeah.
sugar definitely a culprit. Yes.
So when I'm looking at the clock here too, I would love to talk to you. This conversation can go on
Yes.
all day. But what is one message, those people that are sitting and watching you so patiently, the way you explain, message would you like to give to
Right.
our
So
viewers?
I would say I would try to combine, let's say, with diet, NLP, and hypnosis. And my message would be always be mindful about what you eat and see food as information for your brain. And before you devour, ask yourself, what will this food do for me? And how will it affect the way I feel afterwards? And when I think about NLP, neuro linguistic programming, and also hypnosis, I want you to recognize that if you're caught up in any automatic habitual pattern of unhealthy or any addictive behavior, always remember that you are the game changer and everything you want is on the other side of change. All it takes is to make a decision, believe in yourself, and just keep on going day by day.
So you are a hypnotherapist. Yes. Now let's see, because you just said it, so let's a little bit on it.
So why I got into, and those are linked. So NLP is like, got me interested in hypnotherapy. So NLP, first of all, stands for Neuro Linguistic Programming. And the N stands for, it represents your thoughts, feelings, and behavior, right? The L is linguistic, and it's through words, the words we say to ourselves, that actually create our map of reality. And the P for programming refers to the ability to change habits and behavior. And when you mentioned earlier on about patients that are used to eating a certain way all their life, and how do we get them to change?
Yeah.
And that's what made me, inspired me to go into NLP and hypnosis, because that's all about changing habits and behavior. And most habits and behavior are subconscious. And that's where hypnosis comes in, because hypnosis taps into the subconscious mind.
Yeah.
The subconscious mind is the director of our habits and behavior. So by combining those tools, like in the first consult, I would do the dietary history, chat to the patient, we change the dietary habits. And in the follow-up, some NLP would come in to change habits and behavior, keep the patient motivated and interested. And for people really struggling with binge eating, emotional eating disorders,
Yeah.
I create hypnosis audios for patients.
Thank you so much being here on the set and talking. I have learned so much, and we shall bring you back.
It's such a
because this
pleasure and honor.
It's not fair to bring you for this much time, and because we have a lot more to talk. But thank you.
It's such a pleasure and honor to be on your phone, actually be on your show and see you in person.
Yes.
And being in contact with so long, we made it happen.
Yes, we made it happen.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rika. A lot of take in this segment. Hope you'll be back to give more information on the human body and how our body is connected with our brain health. Moving on to our announcement sections, we want to remind you of certain community events that are taking place. The 53rd Independence Day of Fiji will be celebrated on October 14th at 6 p.m. at the Bollywood Banquet Hall in Surrey. For sponsorships and other information, you can contact Kevin Chand at 604-562-4569, Sarah Sharma at 604-992-7253, Kamila Singh at 604-537-5123, Sailash Prasad at 604-897-6601, Agnes Prasad at 604-771-7499, or Shabnam at 604-720-8095. Tickets are available to purchase and it is only $45 per person. Table of 8 is at $360. This includes dinner, entertainment, and dance. All of the proceeds of this event will go towards Guru Nanak Diversity Village. Shakti Society is presenting the 4th annual Shakti Film Festival on October 13th and 14th at the SFU Theatre located in Surrey Central City in Surrey. For more information, please call Sonia Andhi at 604-307-8796 or call Neeti at 604-506-0953. Second annual Fiji Day celebration is taking place on October 21st at 11415 84 Avenue in Delta. There will be performances, live music, dance, Fijian Lovo buffet dinner, and much more. Cost of the event is just $35, and our guest of honor is Mr. Filippo Tarakinini, who is the ambassador of Fiji. For more information and tickets, you can contact 778-713-2418 or 778-628-3633. Sanja Veda Women's Association is presenting their 19th annual breast cancer fundraiser on Friday, October 27th at Dhaliwal Banquet Hall in Surrey. Tickets are only $50 per person. For more information, you can call Tirath Sarai at 604-760-7235 or Sarabjit Chima at 604-724-3796. A and B presents Diwali Ladies Only Mela on October 22nd at Grand Taj Hall in Surrey. Tickets are only $5 per person, but you can call for more information at 604-724-3617 or you can call 604-712-3560. If you have missed our show, you can watch it again tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. and again on Saturday at 5:30 p.m. on Shaw Cable. All of our shows are also uploaded on our YouTube channel. Asian Pulse brings 3 different shows each and every week for our viewers. Number 1 is the Fiji in Focus, which you can watch on Tuesdays at 10 p.m., Thursdays at 2:30 p.m. and Sundays at 4 p.m. Kamila Singh Show on Mondays at 10 a.m. and again on Sundays at 5:30 p.m. Bula Beats on Thursdays at 10 p.m. and again on Sundays at 4:30 p.m. All of our shows are also uploaded under our YouTube channel, Kamila Singh Shows. Today, I want to leave you with these thoughts that we have to recognize and navigate the darkness before we can see the light. Author is unknown, but beautiful words. Thank you for spending part of your day with me. I'm your host, Manbir Randhawa. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you next week. Happy Thanksgiving.